The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah. No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. GEC NASCAR. We're out here at Indianapolis in the Cup Series for the first playoff race of the season. Our regular season champion is going to be Raymond Hanneman, so he's going to start this off with a little bit extra points, but ultimately it's really anybody's race and anybody's championship at this point. So we're looking forward to seeing how these guys set themselves apart tonight here at Indianapolis to really get themselves punched in for that championship run for the final two. Looks like we got some great drivers out there right now with Bryce Fontaine leaning out that first spot of time. He's going to be running the 51.18, and then you got Barr right behind him in the 51.2. So these times are all very, very tight, by the way. Every bit of these times is in 0.4, 0.5 of each other. For their top times. So these guys are really doing a great job of putting down some good lap times and showing what they got in the beginning. So that's probably going to mean that a lot of this racing is going to be super tight. These guys are going to be pretty close together, and because they're professionals, we're going to see a hell of a show tonight. A lot of competition coming into this one, though. So it looks like right now it's going to be Raymond Hanneman up front with 1,021 points. Coonan's going to be right behind him in second place with 1,009 points. Harrison Whitehead is going to be right behind Coonan in that third spot for 1,006 points. Shane Cochran in that fourth place, tied with Lynch. They're both going to have 1,003 points. Also with Wilson, Logan Wilson. So we got a three-way tie for fourth. And it looks like we got a four-way tie for seventh. So that means that all those drivers in seventh will get no bonus points. But it does look like Logan Wilson is going to be the last one with bonus points under also that 1,003. So this is not a huge gap, ladies and gentlemen. These guys do not have a huge gap between each other, but it is any person's championship. They're going to have to come out here and put it all on the line to see what they can do to try to take that top spot going into the first race. I do apologize for any technical difficulty on the waiting screen. I had to get something fixed on there, but now we're all back up and running. It should be a good broadcast from here on out. Logan Wilson taking that top spot with a 50.93. That's going to be our fastest time of the night, breaking underneath that 51 time slot that Fontaine had actually put down in that number 12. Does look like we are missing a few drivers tonight, but that is okay. We still have 17 on the field to race in the first race for the playoffs. That's looking good, especially leading into the second race. These guys are going to have something to hold on to. There is going to be a lot of extra field competition out there. 10 people only got into the playoffs, so 7 people are going to be racing out there for that glorious win here at Indianapolis. So as we always do, Austin, we're going to go over the picks for tonight. So who do you got in line for maybe your win or maybe your pick for today?
I'm going to go with the unknown hero, Ellswick, who has Hasn't won a single race all season, but he usually shows up and shows out in the playoffs. One of the top point getters throughout the season.
Yeah,
Season 3 champion.
That is a good pick. Trust me, he is a good, fast driver. Unexpectedly, he did not get any wins this season, but he is going to be out there to see what he can do about racing for that cup. So yeah, I think he could take it. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna have to go. Dang, this is a hard one today.
Yeah, there's a lot of good drivers out there.
There is a lot of good drivers. I'm gonna have to go with Barr. Joseph Barr. Is it Joseph or Joshua?
I actually don't know.
Well, Barr in the 94, he's gonna be my pick for tonight. Let's see where he's gonna wind up. But it looks like the top guys, they definitely have a fight on their way because Logan Wilson is going to be taking out that top spot. Bryce Fontaine following up behind him. Barr, 94, right behind Fontaine. Coonan in 4th place in that 23, and then Raynard Hammond rounding out that top 5 in that 85. So we will go ahead and pull a couple drivers up for an interview. All right, so we have a link with our regular season champion of Raymond Hanneman in the 85, Jamie and Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
You got a copy?
Hey, brother. So this is the first race of the playoffs. Congratulations for winning the regular season, but now the real trial happens. What are your thoughts about going into the first race here at Indianapolis, and where do you think things are going to shake out here at the end of the playoffs?
Just for this race alone, honestly, just keep your tires, keep your car clean, keep your tires underneath you, and I think we'll be doing okay. I don't have too much high expectations. Probably get a couple stage points if possible and have a good finish, but just here to race the race and see what happens.
Well, again, there's not a lot of optimism out there because these guys are running very, very close lap times, all in the 51s, close to the 51.4s. That's a good majority of the playoff drivers that are running that time. And there are a few drivers that are pretty close to that outside of the playoffs as well. What are your expectations for the pressure that the guys that are not in the playoffs are how hard do you think they're gonna be pushing the guys that are in the playoffs?
I think it comes down to who you made as friends and enemies throughout the season. I think if you race some of the guys clean and they like working with you on track, they're going to work with you tonight. But if you made a lot of enemies out there, they're not going to give an inch or take a mile. They're not going to give an inch, but they'll take a mile. You know?
Absolutely. Well, again, man, I appreciate you coming up and talking to us. Again, congratulations on the regular season win, and we look forward to seeing what you can do out there tonight.
Awesome. Thanks, Griffin.
Thank you so much. All right, that was our regular season champion. We're going to go ahead and pull up your pick. So we do have the 66 up in the booth. All right, well, we're having some audio issues with the 66 at the moment, unfortunately. 66, Jamie and Austin in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, brother. So sorry to pull you in that inconvenient time there, man. I didn't realize that you guys were having a party down there.
Absolutely, it's always a party.
All right. So obviously, first race of the playoffs, you are going to be a playoff driver for this season. What are your thoughts leading into this race and possibly into the rest of the playoffs?
For this race specifically, you won't have to worry about me. I'll be in the back. You know, for the playoffs, I was just blessed and fortunate to get into the playoffs. Continue my season streak of being in the playoffs. But I really just haven't shown the speed that I need to have this season. that I've had in the past. A lot of it's just me still trying to learn this car. A lot of overdriving and mistakes on my part that I've got to get better at. So really, it's a learning curve for me. Indy's definitely not one of my best tracks, so definitely not starting off good there. But all in all, just trying to learn more as I can to prepare myself for next season. But ultimately, if you can finish in the top 5 in the playoffs, that'd be kind of cool. Or maybe try to go for a win there. But honestly, just trying to gain as much knowledge and build the notebook for next season is really what the goal is.
Well, and again, what most people may not know is that you guys have competed in the 24-hour at Daytona this weekend and actually placed extremely well. You and your team went out and I believe placed 5th.
Yeah, we had a really good effort. The IT out group with some addition of some other drivers from Parsons to Cochran. We ended up leading about 106 laps, and which was our highlight goal for our team for the 5 years we've done this, and then topped it up with the same finish we got last year, just in a different car as P5, so that was good. Really growing and learning on that side of things as well. Like to see the improvement there. Really proud of our guys for the effort we put into that. We're still sore and tired a little bit, but we're hopefully going to be making some announcements soon on some future endurance races as well. So hopefully we'll get to see those cars back out, and hopefully we can continue that success as well.
Absolutely, we look forward to it. And again, congratulations on getting into the playoffs, and congratulations on your guys' 24-hour placement. And we look forward to seeing what you guys can do tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. Good luck out there. Alrighty, guys, that'll be it for our driver interviews. They're about to go to qualifying here in less than 1 minute. So let's just take a look out there and see what these guys are doing. Logan Wilson was still in that top spot at the moment. Looks like they're going to be using a little bit of that bottom curve down there by the grass, but I swear if you touch that grass even in the slightest, you're going around. All right, well, that is going to be it for the practice session. We're going to go ahead and go into the qualify session and see what these guys got to offer.
I'm actually excited for this one.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really great race. I am excited for this. As these guys should be coming around for one of their first laps. Oh, Asbar touches the wall a little bit out there. It's a very long track, ladies and gentlemen, so it does take a minute to get around, but it looks like Fontaine will be the first one to lay down a lap with 51.27. Coonan gonna follow him with Cochran right behind him, but again, they're gonna have a whole nother lap to get out there and show everybody what they have to offer. Oh, and Klaus jumping up into the 5th spot on his time. These times are so close together, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm hoping that they can keep it clean for as many green flags laps as possible, but I think we're in for a hell of a show. Well, it looks like these guys are starting to round out a little bit, as it may look like Marion, Ellswick, and McMillan may be deciding not to qualify in this race. But we still have Logan Wilson out there. He's out there going to put down a lap here in a moment. Oh, and Cochran beating out that top time with a 51.15, taking that 51.17 away from Bryson to get that top spot. That's pretty impressive. Looks like Logan is the last one running laps out there at the moment, so we'll give him a moment, but we will be going to our national anthem here in a moment. Oh, I hope he was able to put down a time with that one. But it looks like he may have hit that wall, and it didn't register his time, unfortunately. But the top person was Shane Cochran for the qualified pole. He actually beat out Bryce Fontaine by 0.02. Alright, these guys are lining up on the track right now. So we are going to go ahead and go to our national anthem. Again, thank you all for showing up tonight. And once again, God bless America.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And it looks like we're going to be going green flag here at Indianapolis for the first time tonight. As all of our drivers are lined up and ready to go. We have Shane Cochran on the inside in that first position. Bryce Fontaine leading that outside line. It's going to be Raymond Hanneman sitting right behind Shane Cochran. And then it's going to be Lynch right behind... Is that Lynch? I don't think it is. Hanneman is behind Fontaine. And it looks like the 23 of Coonan is behind Cochran. So this is going to be an interesting restart. Lights are off the pace car. About to go in for green flag. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. First time here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. GCE NASCAR. Playoff race number 1. Here we go. Pace car is off the track. They're coming to the restart zone now. And we are going to be green flag here at Indianapolis. Bryce Fontaine looks like he might have got a little bit of a jump on the 86. I hope he didn't catch a flag for that. I'm not sure what happened there, but we will definitely be in review. These guys are ripping around this track. Once these tires start to wear off, we'll see these drivers start to separate out a little bit. But right now, they're all up in a pack, side by side, running into turn 3 and 4. Down that backstretch now. Bryce Fontaine, he did get that penalty. He is going to be going in for a dry fill right now. That's going to be unfortunate for him, but he does have plenty time to be able to recover from a penalty like that so early. As long as he can maintain speed and he doesn't get lapped, Austin, I think he'll be okay.
I can agree with you on that one there. That is an unfortunate penalty to take. Unfortunately, it is also plenty of time to recover though.
When it looks like Cochran was able to take that front position with Coonan sitting right behind him. Lynch is going to be in that 3rd spot with Brahm up front in the number 4 spot. Hanneman is going to be right there in that fifth position, trying to look to take it away from Brahm, but not today. He said, I want to be up there on that podium. Oh, and as Braun blinks out a little bit in front of Hanneman, that has got to be a little nerve-wracking, but it looks like he's able to recover from that, and these guys are going to continue green flag. We got a couple guys off in the back. It looks like it's going to be McMillan and Marion back there. Not sure what happened, but hopefully they're going to be able to recover and stay on the lead lap. Here we go. There is a decent battle between the 85 and the 94 at the moment. The 94 has taken that spot from Hanneman, looking to run down the 4th spot. Barr is going to be my pick, but let's see if he's going to be able to get up into that top spot today. Braum blinking out again, the number 41. And coming around the corner. He is blinking out several times. He may have to get that fixed. I'm not sure. It looks like he... Oh, man. That is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Looks like we got a 3 wide back there almost, and with the 84, the 85, and the 52. As the 94 is sitting there running down Brom. Here we go. Diving to the outside. Looks like he's looking on the inside of Whitehead right there, the 52. This is definitely turning out to be a decent race. These guys are out there killing it. No contact whatsoever so far. Obviously, like I said, Indianapolis is a wide track, so they are going to be able to get that little bit of space between each other. Them tires are going to start wearing off. You're going to start to see that separation increase, but let's see who's going to be able to hold on to it towards the front. Looks like Coonan has taken that front spot from Cochran. He is definitely looking to try to recover from that, but that gap keeps increasing. Now it's up to 0.2, almost 0.3. We are already 7 laps into this great race, and these guys are not holding anything back. Rom dropping back just 1 spot, but still able to maintain that 5th position. I want to see him finish up there towards that podium tonight. Bar of the 94 up there right behind Shane Cochran at the moment.
Like just about everybody's still sticking to that high 51 outside of 1 or 2 drivers there. Everybody in a not necessarily tight pack, but keeping everybody pretty close together.
Well, if you all look back there with the 85, the 84, and the 76, those are all going to be street limit drivers packed up together. So they're probably coming up with some kind of... What's up?
They may be looking to play it safe here at the beginning, see what happens with this mix of playoff and non-playoff drivers. Plenty of racing to go. I'd say if they're sticking together, they might be trying to keep it safe and allow their drivers to get to the finish line.
McCabe running towards the back with McMillan and Marion. Looks like Marion's starting to fall back a little bit more than the rest. Bryce Fontaine was able to recover a little bit of that time after that penalty. So he's still coming along by himself, but that's going to save his tires because he hasn't been running as fast as these guys. I believe he's going to be able to stay on the lead lap as long as he runs those consistent laps.
He may be able to save tires, but he is also currently running the fastest lap of the session.
Really?
50.97.
Well, and he definitely doesn't have any obstruction to get in his way. 23 really not increasing that gap at all. Cochran is looking to take that spot away. Well, oh, a little bit of contact between Cochran and Barr right there. Barr sent out to the outside line, almost into that wall down there, but he was able to recover.
Tough racing early on here. Some drivers really trying to assert their dominance, which, speaking of, Cochran, not somebody we're used to seeing this far up in the pack, making moves like that this early in the race. Usually a late race driver, but always good to see him up in the front. Even though he is dropping back out of pole position or podium position at the moment, this is a sight to behold. Shane Cochran in the top 5 in the first 20 laps of the race.
Yeah, for real. Well, and again, like I said, Klaus Brahm is sitting up there as well in the top 5 in that 41. I'm really proud of him getting up there and running with these guys and showing what he's got.
Definitely a sight to behold. Plenty of playoff drivers in the top 10, though.
One. Actually, I would have to look at the standings. Hold on one second.
Coonan, Barr, Lynch, Cochran, Wilson, Whitehead, Hanneman, Ellswick, and Haynes, the only one I can see outside of the top 10 currently who is a playoff driver.
Yeah, you are correct.
Not far off, though, as he did just move into the 12th position, climbing slowly. Pack now starting to spread. We got a couple drivers side by side drafting off of each other. Small packs that are starting to form, but all in all, we are starting to see 1 to 2 second gaps forming between a couple of these cars.
Oh, it looks like Barr is overtaking Coonan now. Jay Barr, the 94 up there, putting it all out on the line, trying to see what he can do. He's got to play. He's got a championship to win, so he's saying, get out of my way. He's actually increasing that gap as well. It looks like he's now 0.5 seconds ahead. Lynch has now taken that spot from Coonan as well. It looks like Coonan's starting to fall back a little bit. He's now back out in front of Shane Cochran again. Oh, it looks like Klaus dropped back a little.
This could be one of two things we're seeing here. We did just witness Coonan leading a large portion of the 13 laps we have already witnessed. So we could be looking at tire wear. However, as you said, dropping back right in front of Cochran, that teammate on Racing Edge, it is also possible he got the call that it's time to make a move.
Well, Logan Wilson is right there behind Shane Cochran, and he is not giving an inch. Let's go ahead and ride along board with him for a moment and see what they got going on out there.
All that empty track, finally doing Fontaine well, as he is, looks like less than 4 seconds behind Marion, so still in the last place position, but not as far back as you would have thought after that penalty incurred on lap 1.
Well, and I
slowly climbing.
I figured his goal after something like that is just to maintain on the lead lap, make sure he can stay on the lead lap, because by the time that first caution hits for the stage at 20, he's going to be
right
able to
back in it.
Yeah.
He's right back in it at that point. If he can stay on the lead lap, which it looks like is very easily possible here with only 6 to go until the stage, He's going to get right back up there and possibly gain a few positions on a good restart.
It looks like Lynch now is up front. Of the 33, just jumped out in front of Barr. Coonan still falling back.
Top 5 looking fairly solid, though. Little gap there with Coonan, but otherwise, that top 5 is really holding their own there for those stage points. It's like Cochran pulling off for our first pit of the night. Well, outside of the penalty on lap 1, but
Also, the only people that have led a lap so far has been playoff drivers.
wouldn't say that's too surprising, but with the strength of the field we have, I wouldn't have been surprised to see a non-playoff driver leading those laps as well.
As I said before, Lynch did pass Barr, but he is not giving up. He is right there. They are bumper to bumper at this moment. Let's go ahead and ride along with Barr there for a second, see what kind of view he's got. Oh, he is pushing hard. It looks like Lynch may be going in for the pit. Let's go ahead and get back out, and Lynch is definitely going in for pits. So is that going to be an early pit or a strategy with his team? Who knows, but let's see how it plays out on the track. Barr, he's going to be taking that lead. Coonan behind him. Cochran looking to, or Logan Wilson looking to take that spot away from Coonan. Looks like Cochran has also pit. We have a bunch of people pitting. McCabe, McMillan, Marion, Bryce Fontaine, Shane Cochran, and Ellswick, plus Chris Campbell.
It's like everybody electing to go in early before we cross into the stage here, so they can keep their positions going around the track. We are coming up on pits closing as the 94 makes his way around the final turn.
Logan Wilson right up behind Coonan, not giving him an inch at all. Trying to take that second position away. He's looking on the inside now. They are side by side on the track. Let's see if he's able to pull off. And he is able to pull off that slide job. So now it's going to be Wilson in front of Coonan, trying to chase down Barr. Let's see when they're going to go into the pits. Opting not to go in now. They must have some kind of trick up their sleeve.
And we are one to go until stage. The 94 car still slamming down those lead laps, electing not to pit all the way until the caution here. That may hurt his position coming out of the caution, knowing that everybody else now has already pit, or at least most of the field.
Well, and I can tell you, he's definitely going to have to pit. He's not going to last very long if he doesn't after the stage hits.
Nope.
So.
And there he goes, passing that entry, coming around the final corners here.
Well, this could be the strategy of the night we're seeing right here. Because I got a strong feeling that if he locks all these guys a lap down or close to it, and that is going to be our stage, ladies and gentlemen. Barr, the 94, taking that first spot. Logan Wilson of the 76 taking the second spot. Whitehead, the 84 in third. Coonan in the 23 in fourth. And Hanneman of the 85 in fifth. Those are going to be your stage winners. But Barr going to be taking it home here at Indianapolis?
Do what iRacing says as far as
Well, we're gonna go ahead and try to pull up. We're gonna go ahead and pull up our stage winner. If I can find him. Nope, he doesn't have communication on right now. That's alright. So we'll go ahead and we have a connection with the 12. Jamie and Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hello?
Hey, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, you doing well? I'm doing. If you're talking to me, I'm doing well. Whole PC is freezing right now, so
Oh, it is? I'm sorry. Is it my fault?
we're good. No, I'm not sure. I think we're good.
Okay, okay. All right. Obviously, we've seen that penalty right in the beginning. We knew you'd be able to get back onto the lead lap. What is your strategy going forward after that?
Not get pushed through the restart zone. That's what me and Ray were talking about. He was trying to time the restart a little bit, and he kind of got on me a little, and I don't know. But I think we'll be fine. I've got speed here. So, shouldn't be that much of an issue. We're just going to hit our marks, do our laps, and just try to get back to the front. I mean, plenty of time left in the race, so.
Yeah, I was telling him there's a bunch of racing to go. You are not one to sit towards the back, and I'm sure we're going to see you back up front soon.
That's the plan. Hopefully we can avoid any potential chaos that we have and try to get back up there and have some fun racing with these boys.
Awesome, Fontaine. Thank you so much for coming out. Were you down there with Ellswick and the boys?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll send you back down. Good luck out there, buddy.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, guys, we are going to be going back green flag here in one moment here at Indianapolis. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the lights are off that pace car. These guys are going to go green flag after a solid first stage run. That is going to put Raymond Hanneman out front on the inside. Logan Wilson on his outside. Whitehead right behind Hanneman, and then Menchaca.
Tell me the stage 100 times, I will forget it 101 times. What's that name? 40. Thank you, sir.
As the pace car is about to come off of the track, let's see how much of a jump that Hanneman can get to try to stay out front. But he does have some fast drivers behind him. McCabe and Lynch especially, they're going to be people to watch out for. Shane Cochran's still back there somewhere in that 8th spot. And you got Barr in that 94 out there in the 12th spot. Let's see what these guys can do. We do have a vehicle that's coming up from behind right there. Looks like that might be Jay Marion. Hanneman with the heck of a jump after the green flag. But Whitehead said nope. Oh, Whitehead got a little loose there for a second. Looks like Wilson's going to be able to take that position away from Whitehead. Riding out to the outside. Oh, Hanneman getting extremely loose. Going to be losing that top spot to Wilson and falling back in speed. Not what you want to see for him right away. You know he wanted to go out there and lead a few of those laps. But it looks like he is going to be able to maintain. He is going to be right between two teammates at the moment. So Lynch and Whitehead, they're not going to give him any kind of pressure whatsoever this early in a race. Oh,
Well,
Wilson.
of all places to fall, that is the best place to fall.
Between two teammates? Absolutely. Fontaine in that number 12 already back up front. He's now in the 5th position somehow. After all them cycled pits, I believe he was able to get himself back up into 5th.
You know, Jamie, I can't believe it took me until now to realize, but there's not a single NPC driver out on the track tonight. What happened to Barrow?
His internet's out, actually.
Ooh. Oh, no.
With all the winter storms going around across the southeast, he got hit, and unfortunately his internet wound up going out. He is okay, though, and he will be back next race, and he is out there watching us right now, so...
Heck yeah. Shout out to Barrow. We miss you, brother.
Oh, and it looks like Wilson said, no way, I am not letting you guys catch up to me. Whitehead maintaining that 2nd position in front of Hanneman. They're trying to run him down, but it's no luck so far. He's already put a 1.1 second gap in front of those street limit drivers. As our top 5 comes around, Logan Wilson, Whitehead, Hanneman, Lynch, and Fontaine leading out the top 5 at the moment. Still a lot of racing to go. 70 more laps. 72 more laps, actually, technically. in this Indianapolis race. These guys are going to be able to hold it together. Not a whole lot of change up until this point. Logan Wilson still out front with that commanding lead. He's almost broke it down to 2 seconds now.
Wow.
What's up?
What a lead.
Oh, I know.
1 second. Logan Wilson really just hammering out laps here with a whole lot of street limit chasing him down. 2 through 5, all in a straight line, doing everything they can to draft their way to victory. But nothing is working. 2.3 seconds on the gap. And just like that, we are 8 to go until the next stage.
These guys are doing an amazing job out here right now.
Absolutely. Middle of the pack is starting to shift here a little bit.
Oh, the
You got
94 got
Barr.
loose a little bit. The 3 touched the back of him as they were coming into that corner. 3 up into the wall a little. Looks like they are able to recover from that.
You know he is not happy as he was just leading that pack. 94 takes that position. 3 starting to regain now. Ellswick really just hanging on for dear life there, trying to not get wrecked out early in this race. Consistently in the top 10, yet to break into the top 5. Wilson almost 3 seconds ahead.
Yeah, he didn't come out here to play games tonight. It looks like Coonan is a lap down for some reason. Lot of movement on the track now that that stage is about to come up. I'm curious how Coonan had wound up going a lap down unless he pitted early.
That is a good point. I did see that he dropped a lap down. McMillan 2 laps down. Definitely a little early to see people this far back in the pack, but anything's possible.
That's all right though, because I'm interested to see some strategy. Looks like Marion is now dropped back out of pit position, but he's definitely not as far back as Coonan is. Coonan is now 51 seconds back from our leader of Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson has now increased that lead some more. He's now almost 3.4 seconds ahead. Getting loose a little bit, touching that outside wall, but just able to lay down blistering speed right now. Lynch trying to run him down. Looks like Brahm, he's still in the top 10. Haynes has now worked his way into the top 10 as well in that 3 car. He's now right behind Barr and Shane Cochran and Hanneman and Bryce Fontaine. Fontaine's now found himself in the 4th spot. Looks like they're trying to get up on top, but I don't know if they're going to be able to catch Wilson before this stage is out.
That is a tough gap to close, 3.6 seconds. And we are 1 to go till stage.
Alright, as soon as that leader crosses that line, it looks like it's going to be Logan Wilson coming in for the stage. Just laying down a gap of almost 4 seconds. Now it is 4 seconds in front of our second place in that group of amazing drivers behind him. I mean, he's putting on a show right now, and if they don't do something about it, he may take this race.
Couple more pit cycles to go. Anything can happen, but it is definitely looking wrong for Mr. Wilson.
And as he's going to cross that finish line now, we're going to see the yellow flag come out. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Our will lead out with Logan Wilson, followed up by Harrison Whitehead, Lynch, Fontaine, and Hanneman to get the stage points. And as they're slowing down to get to that pace car at the moment, we'll go ahead and see if we can pull a driver out. So we got Logan Wilson up in the booth at the moment. Logan, you got a copy?
I got a copy.
Copy, buddy. Hey, now they're putting out the gap on everybody else, man. Really on a job out there. 4 seconds on second place. What's your strategy going into this next stage, and what do you think the pit cycles are going to do for you?
So pit cycles, they're going to be interesting, especially with pitting off of 3 instead of coming directly off of 4. The caution might happen because somebody oversends it into 3. Otherwise, it's going to be just a green flag run. It's going to be whoever keeps their tires on them and doesn't make pit stop mistakes.
Yeah, I absolutely believe it's going to come down to tires. Really, honestly, to tell you the truth, I think you're doing a great job out there of keeping yourself out front, and we look forward to seeing what you got for the end of the race.
All right.
Thank you so much, Logan. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, that was our stage winner, Logan Wilson. Looks like we're having some difficulty on the stream. Yeah, we're definitely going to be a little bit back. Uh-oh. Yeah, that was a little crazy right there. Looks like the issue is clearing up. Man, I apologize for any kind of issues. Swore we had this cleaned up already. But we are definitely going to be a little technically inclined at the moment. Sorry, I'm trying to watch at the same time. Yeah, I think we got it back. I think we're gonna be okay. Lights are off the pace car, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to go green flag racing here in a couple moments here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
He don't know what the hell happened.
Oh no. That is no good, guys. Give me a couple moments. I am going to try to get that fixed. Hopefully that does not happen again.
Krabby Patty sauce and a kid's meat. Mostly because I want the toy.
All right, here we go. We are back almost to the green flag for the last time, hopefully tonight. We are going to get some action here at the last stage at Indianapolis. Pace car is about to come off. Logan Wilson on the inside. Harrison Whitehead on the outside. Let's see what they got. Here we go, 76, 84, getting a decent jump. 76 not leaving the 84 side. He is actually right there with him the whole entire time. That may impact that restart for that 76. Oh, they are touching sides. And it looks like the 76 is going to get the 84 to relent a little bit. And he's able to take that front spot and leave a little bit of a gap. Fontaine right there behind that 84 with 33 of Lynch following up. Hanneman slowing up a little bit, causing a little bit back there. It looks like it's going to be Cochran and Barr back there with him. Slowed up Cochran a little bit. Looks like Fontaine diving out underneath the 33, but also the 86 is diving underneath the 85 right here, trying to take that position away from Raymond Hanneman, trying to break his way into the top 5 again. Oh, Hanneman dives down in front of Cochran, making him slow down a little bit. That's going to allow Barr to catch up to the back of him. Logan Wilson still out front. Fontaine is now going to be right behind Logan Wilson, trying to catch that draft on that inside, but Wilson is not having it. He's now going to be about 0.5 in front of Bryce. Oh, Logan touching that outside wall a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't slow him down. And it doesn't seem to slow him down at all. Oh, McMillan looks like he got made contact with that outside wall in the back there. Logan Wilson slowly increasing that lead in front of Fontaine. Now that gap's going to be about 0.8. Wilson just able to hold on to it. Fontaine having a little bit of an issue in that last set of corners. I do apologize for any issues we're having on the stream, ladies and gentlemen. I am working on it, but there is not a lot I can do right at this moment. It looks like it lagged out on me as well. But we are still going live here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway with GEC NASCAR. Logan Wilson still out front, increasing that commanding lead past a second now. .23 looking on the outside of McCabe at a 35. McCabe touches the wall a little bit. That's going to allow Coonan to get up behind that 66 car. Looks like McCabe is going to lose 2 positions on that. 66 just worried about running his own line. And as we cross the threshold here in a moment for halfway to go, we again thank you all for being here. Thanking our drivers for going out here and putting on the show. It's an amazing race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Got a decent group of cars back there with Ellswick following behind him. The 23, he's going to be looking to try to take that position here soon. Going a little bit high on that corner, so he is not going to be able to do it now. Ellswick doing a great job of just maintaining his line, being locked into the top 10. Logan Wilson with that still at 1 second in front of Bryce Fontaine. But again, Bryce Fontaine has his own worries with Lynch and Whitehead directly right behind him, less than 0.2. Logan Wilson diving down low to get them off his draft. That's going to pick him up an extra 0.15. Well, it looks like the 94 diving underneath the 85. He is going to take that spot away from Hanneman. Coonan also going to take that spot from Hanneman. On his side now. Let's see if he can hold that spot. They are side by side going down the front stretch. Oh, Coonan touching that outside wall a little bit, or Hanneman touching that outside wall a little bit, giving Coonan the advantage to take that position away. Looks like he is going to jump up into that 7th position. Well, for anybody out there expecting a caution, don't, because these guys are absolutely putting the hammer down with the green flag laps, providing an amazing race here at Indianapolis, an amazing show to watch. As we ride along with the 23 of Coonan, seeing what he's got on his windscreen. He's got Barr right in front of him in that 94. Barr obviously going to be a fast driver as well out there, led a few laps. But they're all going to be on the tail of Wilson trying to catch up. Let's go ahead and get along with Bryce Fontaine for a moment, just to visualize that gap that Wilson has now put on. He is just putting on a show out there on rails. Bryce Fontaine not giving up, trying to take every corner perfectly, as you can see, to just keep that distance as short as possible. Go ahead and ride along with a couple more drivers. Looks like Cochran's in that top 5, back behind Lynch up there. Let's see how Lynch is doing. Lynch is going to be right behind Whitehead. They're going to be trying to run down Fontaine, and they're not too far off of him. But Logan Wilson looks like he's miles out there. Logan Wilson is going to be one of our playoff drivers as well. So this is going to put him up in that top bracket for trying to go out there to win a championship. If he can take this home. Fontaine losing a little bit of time to Whitehead there. He is going to be catching up, but Wilson has now increased his lead to almost 3 seconds again. This guy is out there killing it, Austin.
Thank you, 32.
Whitehead has now passed. Whitehead and Lynch have now passed Fontaine for that second spot. Just, we know tires are becoming a factor out there, and it looks like it's just slowing them down just enough for them guys to get past, but it's looking like these guys are doing an amazing job out there. Logan Wilson, he's getting towards the 5-second mark, being ahead of these guys. Oh, he touches that wall a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't cause a problem. But he is now 4.5 seconds ahead. Losing a little bit of time for that contact on the wall, though. But not a lot. Only 38 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody could take this home, but it looks like Logan Wilson has put that car on rails, and he is not letting go. Looks like we got some drivers going into the pits. A bunch of them, actually. A bunch of our lead drivers going into the pits as well. Let's go ahead and take a look as the 86 is getting jacked up. Logan Wilson in, Whitehead in, Fontaine in. That's going to put Caleb Ellswick out front for our lead. As Logan Wilson gets back onto the track, Whitehead not far behind him. These guys are starting to come back out in the positions that they actually came in at. Caleb Ellswick, McCabe, and Hanneman now into the pits. Wilson's going to be out there on those fresh, brand spanking new tires, so that's going to give him a bunch of laps to try to keep that gap in head. And it looks like he came out with a gap, a larger gap than he had when he went in, by almost a second. So Logan Wilson is now 6.3 seconds ahead of our second place. So you think they're going to have to come in and pit again, Austin? Most likely they will have to actually come in and pit again. Austin is incommunicado right at the moment, but I'm sure he will be back with us in a second.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I apologize there. I was listening to one of the drivers. Yeah, I absolutely believe that we are going to have another pit cycle from these drivers here. We were seeing a lot of drivers pitting that last lap before the stage closed the pits there on stage 1. And I know a couple of the drivers at the end of stage 1 there were looking to coast into their pit boxes. They were running out of fuel. So
Oh, man.
if that stays true, we're looking at about the 18 to 20 lap range for each of these cars on fuel. And with 35 laps to go, it is almost guaranteed we're going to have to see each of these drivers pit at least one more time.
Well, that could shake things up, but I'm telling Logan Wilson is now 7 seconds ahead of second place.
Oh, it is astounding. He is just laying down the lead laps out there. It's not even looking like a competition at this point. But yeah, like you said, with another pit cycle or two, if necessary, it is possible to lose that position or lose that gap. But he did an excellent job coming out of the pits on that last one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Fontaine out there doing everything he can to close that gap between him and Wilson. He has actually gained a little bit of time on Wilson. This, for the first time tonight, he has gained 0.5 on Wilson. But without a caution, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough.
No, you could also be in that area where Wilson is somewhat just losing track of his lead. Not to say he isn't going fast around this squarish oval, but there is a point where you're so far ahead and you can't see the car behind you, and you tend to lose track a little bit of just how far ahead you are. And sometimes you end up missing a turn or two on your perfect line just because you don't have that extra car pushing you from behind. No complaints though. Anything over 6 seconds is nothing to scoff at. Almost a full straightaway ahead of the person behind.
Yeah, that's crazy. Fontaine still only... They're not gaining or closing at this moment. Still that 0.5.
Crazy to think, just looking at some of the statistics I have up on my other screen here, the gap between first and second place is equal to the gap between second and seventh.
Wow. That's pretty crazy, actually.
That is a sight to behold for race 1 of Season 5 playoffs.
Well, and again, coming in as a playoff driver, coming out here and doing what he's doing now has got to make him feel good about going into the championship. I mean...
Oh, absolutely. He had a fairly decent season. I know he had a couple issues here and there when it came to TPS and getting into some incidents, but a little bit of software tweaking here and there. He has shown up and showed out towards the end of this season here, and he is putting on one heck of a show tonight. I know we've seen it every once in a while, but when Wilson has a track that he has practiced and knows well, I don't think there are too many people that can really put up any competition to him. We've seen this before. I can't remember what race it was, but last time Wilson found a groove like this, the gap was hard to miss, and he put it down.
Well, as anybody may know, GEC does not eliminate playoff drivers. So the playoff drivers that are in will stay in until the championship. Whoever has the most points at the end is the champion. Cochran creeping up on Whitehead, going for that third spot. He's looking for a podium. With only 30 laps to go in this race, these guys, hopefully their strategies are playing out and working for them at this moment, but you do see a couple drivers falling back. Like Menchaca, Kunin, and Hanneman at the moment.
Interesting to see drivers that were leading at the beginning of this race and have multiple laps led. Especially those like you were saying, some of those street limit guys who've really been putting on a show all season long. Apparently struggling here towards the final stage of this race that we have going on.
Well, as a driver making multiple tire stints on Indianapolis, I'll tell you, it really cooks those tires right off, and it makes it harder and harder to turn.
Definitely something we're starting to see is these drivers get towards the end of their tires. It is somewhat easy to see them sort of fishtail through a couple of these turns as they really try to not drag their brakes and coast through, but once the tires are cooked, they're cooked. There's not much you can do about that. Wilson's starting to grow his lead yet again. We're looking at 6.7 on the gap read, pushing 6.8 on some of these straightaways here.
That's still going to be a hell of a significant gap, especially coming into that last pit. Here soon, probably about 5 laps or so, we're going to start to see drivers possibly come in for that pit strategy.
That is absolutely crucial when you can put down a gap between you and the guy behind you that is pretty much the length of your entire journey to the pit. You were in for a good night.
Street Limit doing everything they possibly can to stay up in that top 5. You do have 2 Street Limit drivers in the top 5 at the moment, Whitehead and Lynch. Cochran's going to be right in the middle of them, looking for Whitehead's position to take that podium.
There we go. Starting to see some early warning signs even from our leader, Wilson, as his tires are definitely squealing coming out of some of these turns. You're right. I think we're coming up on another round of hits here in the next couple laps.
Oh, what? Hold on. Logan Wilson has increased his gap to 7.7 seconds. Something must have happened to Fontaine back there, but Fontaine has a decent gap of his own between third place. He's 1.2 seconds ahead of third.
Guys are really starting to find their groove coming into the end of the race here. It's beautiful to see. Not so good for the rest of the playoff drivers who are in that 5 through 10 position, itching to get up and try and get some points out of it. The last thing you want to see is playoff drivers or people helping playoff drivers, nonetheless, up front, finding a groove, finding fast laps, and able to extend the lead they already have. Again, anything's possible. We do still have 25 laps to go. That is a decent amount of racing and a last pit strategy as well.
Cochran finally able to get that position away from Whitehead, getting into third up onto the podium. Hopefully he can keep it there for after this pit stop to be able to come in up for an interview. And these guys are really cooking those tires now. I imagine they're all going to be coming in here soon, but I don't know what's going on, dude. Logan Wilson has now increased his gap to 8.2 seconds.
There's just nothing stopping this man. It doesn't seem to matter whether his tires are squealing, he's fishtailing through a turn. He seems to be finding speed no matter what he does. I just think this might be his race.
Yeah, we're going to have to bring that car in for inspection after this.
Oh, absolutely. If he doesn't have something going on under that hood that we can't see, then he is just a magician tonight. He's pulling something out that no other driver is able to pull. Not even with the fastest lap, though I will say he is a very close second on the fastest lap. The 12 car still holding that 50.973, but Wilson not very far behind with a 50.987. Very clearly, the open track here at Indianapolis is treating drivers well.
Only 24 laps to go. He's almost increased that gap to 9 seconds. He's going to be able to pit whenever he wants. The only thing I see messing him up now is maybe a penalty. Oh, a little loose coming out of that corner, though. 33 and a 94 out there battling it out. Cochran still able to maintain that third position in front of Whitehead, trying to run down Bryce as we speak. He has closed that gap for Bryce by like 0.4. So we might even see Cochran overtake again before a pit.
Anything we can do as points here as playoff drivers, especially those bonus points. There are still 4 races left to go. Wilson taking this one out by a long shot does not end the season for any of these playoff drivers. So anything they can do to get that first couple bit of points at the beginning of the playoffs here is going to go very, very well for them. Those who fail to register any bonus points are really going to be hurting going into these next 4 races.
Yeah, those bonus points are a huge advantage. Cochran now right behind Bryce point by 0.3. It looks like he may overtake.
That is going to be a solid position for Cochran, especially with his Racing Edge teammate Coonan now back in 12th place, not having the best night. But I will say the man who is going to be saved by his regular season championship, Hanneman, unfortunately back in 14th position coming into the final portion of this race here. He's going to be starting with the most amount of points, winning that regular season championship, but that is now going to be the only gap he has if he can't manage to gain a couple positions here at the end of the race. He's still favorable going into the next 4 races due to that championship, but definitely not the start you want, even with that starting gap.
Oh, and as we see a couple of our drivers starting to go into the pits, Cochran and Whitehead are now going in. Looks like Hanneman's being passed by Bryce Fontaine.
That is right on cue with the leader at 20 laps to go. As we were talking about earlier, 18 to 20 laps is that sweet spot on fuel. It is now or never for a lot of these drivers who may be running out of fuel on that last lap.
Well, Logan Wilson with nothing to fret, 10 seconds in front of the field at the moment. He's probably going to be pitting here soon, but it ain't going to be now.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. He is probably going to try and stretch that next lap or 2 if I had to guess. Just see how much of a gap he can really get before actually entering. If he can keep 10 or more seconds, that is pretty much an entire pit lane trip without having to worry about losing your position, which is amazing. And there he goes.
Logan
All
Wilson
eyes
in.
on the 76.
Bryce Fontaine in.
Little bit of follow the leader happening here, but all eyes on the 76 as we look to see where he ends up after this pit cycle. Can he keep his lead position? And if he can, is he able to retain that massive gap and hold it all the way to finish?
Bryson coming in a little hot into the pit. Hopefully he didn't get a flag right there.
Looks like he was able to stay clean, at least according to my overlay.
Next, going to give Caleb Ellswick the lead again. He's going to go out there and lead a few laps. So far, Ellswick and McCabe are the only two that have not pitted.
I know they were a lap or two behind the pit strategy of most of the other drivers out there, whether that be on purpose or an unfortunate fault of the drivers. We'll have to look and see what happens here.
Ellswick coming down. Logan Wilson coming out. It looks like he lost a good chunk of time to Bryson in that pit stop. He lost about 4 seconds to Bryson in that pit stop.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, his gap between Bryson right now is only 5.7.
Well, still nothing to fret about. Almost back at that 6-second mark.
You're not wrong.
Definitely an interesting position with less than 20 to go. A couple good laps out of the 12 car, and we could have a race on our hands.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
A little bit more loss there. The 12 able to gain a little bit more time back. 5.2 seconds. The gap between first and second place. Though now a large gap between second and third place. Whitehead chasing down the 12 car, but 4.5 seconds back. Cochran still riding out fourth position, looking for a podium. He is within sight. He chases down the 84 car, not very far behind. Just like that, back up to 5.7. We are approaching that 6-second gap again. Wilson just cannot seem to shake this groove. Again, it doesn't matter what he's doing. He just can't lose the lead.
Alrighty, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like Wilson is wiggling out of it. $15 laps to go here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Bryce Fontaine is only 5.6 seconds back from Wilson. That's the closest anybody's been all night to him. Seems to me everybody in the front's pit stops went pretty well, because the top 5 didn't change at all.
No, it did not. Everybody seems to be in their same position. plus or minus a couple seconds on their gaps here and there. Cochran's still in that 4th position, fighting Whitehead for the final podium spot here. It will be tough to catch the 12 car in that 2nd position, but anything is possible. If the 3rd and 4th cars can catch the 2nd car, then the 2nd car can definitely catch the 1st.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a caution-free race, but these guys are doing an amazing job of keeping that green flag out there.
Oh, absolutely. This has been a race to watch from everybody. Drivers really giving it their all here in the first playoff race, and again, fingers crossed with 12 to go, but we could be looking at a clean playoff race, which is everything we could ask for.
Wilson's gap has now increased very ever so slowly to 6.15. He's going to be on the inside of the 32 of McCabe right now. McCabe, oh, touches that outside wall. Or the 32 Menchaca, sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, less than 10 to go out here at Indianapolis.
And at this point, I don't even know if it's possible for someone other than Wilson to win this race.
Fondane has done a great job of not letting him increase the distance up until this point. But yeah, the gap is still right now 6.5.
And even then, he has, looks like an 8-second gap on 3rd place and a 2-second gap.
Yeah, he
on
does.
We're looking at a pretty easy positioning.
Position that Whitehead or Cochran got on Whitehead, he's slowly trying to get it back, but it looks like Cochran's about to lose another position to Barr.
Barr just popped up on my stat sheet there. Yeah, there's a fight for that 4th position now as well. Not as much glory in that 4th position, but points are points.
Hey, that top 5 is all good for me.
Well, if all stays the same, Wilson must be already seeing himself on victory lane. 7 laps left to go. 6.5 second gap. Not much else to say. We've been staring down this same thing for the last 20 plus laps.
Seems like the drivers all have their own individual packs going on. Their pack of 3 going into turn 3 and 4 now. Pack of 3 on the backstretch. Pack of 3 going out of 1 and 2. Five to go here at Indianapolis. Oh, we got some action right here going for 3rd place. Whitehead has now lost that time to Cochran and Barr. Barr or Cochran side by side coming into turn 1 and 2, trying to get that 3rd spot.
That seems to be the only.
Oh, Barr
fight
into that
left
outside
here.
wall. That's going to give Cochran enough time. We do have a caution. And that is going to shake this race up a lot. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened back there. Oh, what did we say? You touch that inside grass and it is over. And that's exactly what just happened. Chris Campbell comes down out of 1 and 2, touches that inside grass and just completely goes sideways. Unfortunate to see right here at the end of our Indianapolis race, but it's NASCAR. So we're going to go ahead and re-rack them for the last time tonight, hopefully. Go for the green flag with only 3 to go.
52 unfortunately spinning there. It looks like catching the grass. He went ahead and claimed that one for himself. And just like that, we have a race on our hands.
So we have a link with the 86. Jamie and Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, brother. Obviously working hard out there trying to get that third spot back from Whitehead just a second ago. We seen you take it away from him, but went into the pits and lost it to him again. Fought up until this point to get it back. What is it like out there right now?
Oh, it's so much fun. It's real hard to pass. I was actually short on fuel there on that last stop by about a half a lap, so I had to pull up and save and let Whitehead go. And then by the time Barr got to me, I was like, all right, it's time to go. And I was about to get past both of them there in about another quarter turn before that caution came out. Was looking for a podium, so we'll see what we can do now.
Well, with that caution coming out, that will be the first caution of the night. Logan Wilson has put on a show tonight, increasing his lead at one point up to 10 seconds on second place. He just lost a 6.5 second gap on second place to Fontaine, just putting rails on it. How is it trying to keep up with him?
Oh, I didn't have anything for that guy. I mean, there's some people you get around and you think, hey, I can get past this guy, but I think Wilson's just been class of the field, hard to keep up with.
You are not wrong. From watching it up here, everybody's been having trouble with that, but this gives Bryce Fontaine and all you guys a chance to regroup and possibly go out there for your first playoff win of season 5.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing it, Cochran. You have a good night, brother. Good luck out there, and have fun.
Thank you. Hopefully I'll see you for an interview.
10-4.
Green, white, checkered.
We got a link with the 33. Jamie and Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Hey, man. Obviously, crazy racing up until this point. First caution flag of the night. What's going on in your mind?
Well, unfortunately, before the caution, it was just safe fuel. I didn't know if I think I was maybe like 3/10 away from. Sometimes I was 3/10 to the goods. Sometimes I was 3/10 to the bad. So I was just trying to save as much fuel as I could if it went green. But this is kind of exciting. But it throws a little wrench with everybody staying out like they did. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see us another green, white checker.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of fuel strategy come into play. We didn't realize you guys were actually that close. Pitting in, you seem to pit with everybody else, so I imagine a bunch of other people were in your same position.
Yeah, kind of on the last cycle. I wanted to, with Wilson pulling off as far as he could, like he was, I wanted to kind of get a few laps early to see if I couldn't gain some ground, but unfortunately I think I messed up inside the pit road, and I kind of lost to the guys that I was running with on the track at the time, but we'll see how this green, white checkered plays out.
Well, we look forward to seeing it as well. Lynch, good luck out there and have fun, buddy.
Yeah, man, thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be getting back to it. This is going to be the last few laps in the first race for the playoffs. It looks like the lights are on the pace car for some reason. Did we extend it?
No, we actually did not.
But they are gridded up.
Doing this naturally. They are gridded up. This is actually the first time since the change of the official iRacing rules that we have had a green and white checkered. So we are in, I don't want to say unknown territory, but this is a first for us.
I'm definitely interested to see what happens. It does look like the pace car lights are off now. Nope.
They are still on for me. But we are coming around turn 3 and 4 now, so we should see them turn off.
Yeah, they are out of line too, so I imagine they're going to be coming back around again.
Game could also just be green and white checkering us so that it crosses the 100 lap mark and doesn't do anything funky here. We are coming into the end of lap 99. We see the lights turn off here. We know it is going to be the green white checkered past the 100 lap mark. And there we go. The lights are off. Lap 100 upon us.
Well, I know that Wilson, Fontaine, Barr, Whitehead, Cochran, all those guys, their hearts got to be pounding out of their chest right now.
Oh, absolutely. This went from an easy win for the 76, or what looked like an easy win for the 76, is now a tight race to the finish. So both of our picks seem to have started or made themselves into a very good position. Barr and Ellswick side by side in positions 4 and 5, both shooting for that win here. Anything's possible. Again, this is a first for us, a green and white checkered after the change of the official iRacing rules. So this is now the only time we can see a yellow flag come out on the white flag if an incident occurs, while that normally cannot happen during your regular green flag racing.
All right, with that pace car, they're going to be getting off the track after this next turn. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The pace car is going to be coming off the track now, and we are going to be going green flag racing for the last time here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Here we go. Logan out for that restart. Got a little bit on Bryce, but not a whole lot. He is going to be able to jump up to the front. We got a 3 wide in the back right there between Coonan . Nice restart by everybody. Ellswick taking advantage of that restart. Oh, we got 2 drivers in the wall back there. Looks like they're going to be holding it together. Ellswick diving low on the 94. Very close one right there. They're 3 wide. Woo, this is some heated racing at the end right here. Ellswick gets wide out into the outside wall a little bit. He's going to be passed. Fontaine out front right now. Logan Wilson in 3rd currently. As we come around to the green, or to the checkered flag, Whitehead and Fontaine racing it out side by side. Logan Wilson just can't get it out there. Cochran on his inside. Logan Wilson touches that outside wall. Cochran in 3rd place. Fontaine out front. Number 12 giving it the gap. Wilson with the slide on the side, touching the wall. Cochran, he's going to be jumping in front of Wilson. Wilson, he's going to fall behind with that checkered flag out. Fontaine is out there and takes the win with Cochran right behind him. Not the expected outcome we were to see here at Indianapolis, but either way, we thank you all for showing up tonight. We're going to go ahead and get our drivers ready for our driver interviews, and we will be right back with GEC eNASCAR. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at Indianapolis Brickyard. We have our winner, Bryce Fontaine, in the number 12 coming out after the restart right at the end for that green-white checkered, taking it away from Wilson, unfortunately, that led most of this race. Fontaine, what's on your mind? How did that go right there at the end?
I mean, for me, I guess it went as well as it possibly could have. Yeah, I mean, Wilson was running away all night. I mean, that clean air here is such an advantage, and you know, even when we were trying to run a train, it just, the dirty air in the corners, you just lose so much time. And took a gamble there on that green flag pit stop. Took 2 right side tires, tried to gain some time on him, and I think he ended up actually getting some draft too. But either way, I mean, Wilson was quick all night. It's unfortunate that the late caution came out, but yeah, man, past experience here at Indy kind of helped me on that restart. I mean, I followed Wilson into the wall off it too. I actually got some pretty bad wheel damage, but you know, coming to the white flag, I wasn't lifting. Harrison had some balls, man, took it 3 wide, and I knew what was going to happen, man. I know they were driving hard, so I just backed out of it, hit him with the crossover, and luckily they both overdrove the corner, and from there I just had to keep it on the track and keep her clean.
Nah, that was an amazing show by everybody out there, man. Good job, Fontaine, for winning the first playoff race. This is going to set you apart from the other drivers going into the championship. What are your thoughts for the next couple races?
Yeah, we got a couple good tracks on the schedule that I'm looking forward to. Here to try to make some waves and shake up this playoffs here a little bit. But yeah, man, I'm excited for some of the tracks on the schedule. Again, Indy's a track that I think I got my first win ever here in a league race. So Indy means a lot to me. It's a lot of fun racing here. It's a good track, and there's a lot of clean drivers here too. I mean, again, props to all 3 of us there in the top for that 3 wide move. I mean, not a lot of real estate out here, but the fact that we're able to race that hard with playoff implications on the line coming to the white flag, I mean, that just goes to show how good the drivers in here are, and I'm just glad I get to be a part of it.
Yeah, you guys put on a hell of a show. Only one actual caution throughout the entire race. I'm impressed. You guys did a great job. Thank you so much for coming out here. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's race?
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, got to give a shout out to the wife as always for letting me put the time into the sim that I do. Give a shout out to all my family and friends who support me. You know, shout out to Ray for introducing me to this league. Shout out to you guys up there in the booth and the race control, and shout out to all the guys over at Eternal for all their support this season. We got a lot of big things coming up, so got some merch on the website too, eternalracing.com. You can get some fire merch, and yeah, just thanks to you guys for putting all this on.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bryce, for coming out here and giving it all you got again. And we will see you at the next one.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, guys.
As for our second place, the craziness of the night, Shane Cochran coming in second out of nowhere. Once again, the ninja of our series just put it right in there and was able to take the second place. Cochran, how did it go right there at the end?
Well, I mean, I started on the pole. I don't know if I'm coming out of nowhere, but I was coming out of 5th place there on that last restart after I had to hit in the pits for some fuel, like I mentioned. And then the 84 I thought was going to run out, so I was a little nervous to be right behind him. And then Ellsworth got a huge jump and made some good moves. And then he and Barr got together, and I had to capitalize on that. I think we were 3 wide, you know, in the middle of turns 3 and 4, and I don't know how we made it. And then the guys in front of me hit the wall, and the pathway open, and I just stayed in the gas there.
Well, as always, it's amazing to see what you can do out there. You gave them hell all night long. Thank you so much, Cochran. What's your vision for the playoffs after your second place tonight?
Well, I think if we can keep having nights like this, it's going to be a good run, but we're going to have to get a win and some bonus points to catch up to the leader there. We'll see how the points shake out after this. I got a couple bonus points, but didn't get any stage stuff, so we'll see how it plays out. But I need to be better at getting stage points and bonus points, I think, compared to some of the other guys here.
Well, if that's all you got to work on, man, you're doing a hell of a job. Thank you so much for coming out here, Cochran. Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight?
Oh, I got to thank my teammate. He gave me a shove there on the back stretch while we were kind of getting there on the last lap. That really helped me get up to second. And thank my dad. He's spotting and crew chiefing and keeping my head in the game. So that was a good race. Good. I think Coonan was 4th, so it was a good team night. I think he had some trouble and was able to recover from it. So really good team night. Just feeling good. Looking forward to next week.
Cochran, thank you again so much for coming out here, buddy. We look forward to seeing you next week and seeing what you got for the championship. Go out there and get that cup.
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to our final but not least driver of the night. Harrison Whitehead of Street Limit coming out, also putting on a hell of a show right there at the end. Harrison, what do you got for that end of that race, man? That was intense.
That was probably one of the best 2-3 laps I've ever been a part of, or I guess 2 for the green white checkered. I mean, I think I did everything I could have to try to win it. Bryce nailed it. He knew I was sending it like on the inside right there 3 wide, and there's no way I was going to be able to hold it on the bottom, and the crossover was there and he nailed it. And then I got to his bumper and won on the white flag lap, but I didn't want to give him anything too bad, or turn him or anything. But yeah, I tried to send it in 2, or tried to send it in 3 on the outside, and it did not work and cost me a position in 4 because I was trying to push too hard to make that up. But overall, I mean, that was incredible. Can't complain. I hope y'all got some good content with that because it was pretty wild.
Oh no, we definitely did. And you guys being playoff drivers, I'm not sure. I don't think Fontaine is actually. He came out here just to win it all, right? Yeah. Fontaine came out here just to win it all. So you guys definitely have a little bit of a point gap as far as getting to the leader itself. I appreciate you coming out, man. And anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's race?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Laughing Llama Wraps for making our paints. I'd like to thank everybody at Street Limit for sponsoring our car, sponsoring our team. Really appreciate that. And I'd like to thank y'all for broadcasting. Love what y'all do. Y'all kill it week in and week out, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you again for coming out, and we look forward to seeing what you got for the championship.
Yeah, buddy. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, guys, that'll be it for us tonight here at GECE NASCAR, coming from the Brickyard over here at Indianapolis. Thank you so much for showing up tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next week. GEC, over and out.